Part 14 is Facebook page setup. Assuming you've already got a Facebook page, we can go ahead and open our web browser. You want to click on Home. Obviously, we're doing this on the desktop. On the left-hand side, in the left column, we've got the option to create a new page at the very bottom of the column. You want to click on Page. The first thing you need to do is choose your page title. This is obviously different for every business, so choose the appropriate page title for your business. You want to choose a category, your company's name. We're going to do paperdocs.org because the business that I'm setting up is for a client and for specifically a website. Not necessarily a branding page, but mostly to represent the website itself. So we're going to disable the Get Page Tips in Messenger option and click Get Started. Once you've created your page, you'll have a blank canvas, no header image, no profile image, and you'll just have a page name. Under the page name, you can click on this @ symbol and choose your page username. So it would generally say @username. When you click that, you have the option to actually change your @username, which will also update your Facebook URL. This is where your customers, clients, visitors can type into their address bar to find your Facebook page. Excuse me. So we created @paperdocs. If you type in facebook.com/paperdocs, you'd land on our Facebook page. This is also used for your messenger code. If you want to find your messenger code, click on Messages tab. At the very bottom, you'll see an icon that represents info or information. You want to click on this, and in doing so, you can find your messenger code in 300, 600, and 1000 pixels as a PNG. Before we do this, it's recommended that we upload a Facebook profile picture so that it's included in our messenger code. So we're going to go back to page. And before I actually upload any pictures, before I download my messenger code and my messenger URL, I'm going to add a button to my website first. Here you should have the option to just click and add a button. I've already added mine, but let me just show you where you'd go. I chose to link to a website or app, and I put my full URL in this space. So I included HTTPS because we set our website up with an SSL certificate. If you don't have an SSL certificate, just use http://www. So I do recommend to include HTTP: or HTTPS:. Click on Save Changes once you set up your button. And you can hover over the button to test it and open it in a new tab to make sure it works. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and create a profile picture and a banner. I like to use Adobe Fireworks. You can get an Adobe subscription for a pretty affordable price to get all of the professional apps. Otherwise, you can use a website such as canva.com, canva.com. I'll go ahead and open Adobe Fireworks. I've got a canvas here of 2050 wide by 780 tall. So that's 2050 wide, 780 tall. In my first layer, I like to have the same background image that's on my website in the header. And of course, my logo design is in a vectorized format. So I'm gonna load my logo in here vectorized so that I can resize it as I need to or change the colors. This is going to be my Facebook banner. I'm going to save this as a flattened PNG, and I'm also going to save this as a editable PNG. If you downloaded the folder structure, you should have an idea of where to save this file. I might actually go in here now and add the folder that's missing in case it's not in the folder structure. So when you download this folder structure, you should already have this folder in here. We're going to go into assets, into, let's see, let's look at backgrounds. I'm going to save this as a flattened PNG. And this will make the upload easier for Facebook. And I think actually what I'm going to do is put this into the flattened and finished folder. So if I go back into my folder structure, we should have assets, flattened, and finished. And in here, we've got banners. So I'm going to save this in this banners folder. So again, this is our flattened version. Since I'm using Adobe Fireworks, I want to also save a Fireworks PNG, which is editable. If I need to go back and make updates to this photo, I can go back and edit the layers. So we're going to put this in backups and originals, banners, original. And we're going to save this one as a Fireworks PNG. If you're on Photoshop, you'd save it as a Photoshop document. If you were on Adobe Illustrator, you'd obviously save it as a AI or Illustrator file so that you can go back and make changes to it later if ever need be. Or extract different layers out of this image if you ever need to in the future. So we've got a flattened version and we've got a retained editable version that you can go back and use for other assets on your websites, on your other social profiles, etc. See, these are all vectorized, so you can go and make changes to each individual color or layer if you actually input or import vector logos into this design, into this banner. This is what it looks like if it's flat. I can't make any changes. I can't select individual layers, but if it's not flattened, I can actually go back and make changes. For our Facebook profile picture, I've already got a canvas of 780 by 780 pixels, tall and wide. We've got our background here. Actually, this is the background we're going to use. So the same as the one that's in our background of our of our website and of our Facebook banner. I'm going to add my vectorized logo on top of this, and I'll save this as backups and originals, logos. Actually, no, we'll just create a new file. I'll create a new folder in here for profiles. So let me just go to assets and I'll add this to the folder structure in, let's see, flattened. Call this one profile, image, or just profile. So I'll go ahead and save this one as a flattened PNG. And again, I'll save it now as a layered PNG for the retainable editing. In backups and originals, I'll create a new folder, profile, flattened PNG, firework PNG, and boom. Now I'll go and upload my photo. browse for our folder structure. Assets, flatten and finish, profile, boom. And this is the flattened version, so it'll upload faster and it will have a better quality because Facebook tends to compress images. We're going to zoom the image all the way out and click save. So to keep Facebook from over compressing your image and taking away the quality, if you compress it first, Facebook won't have much compression to do to the file size. So you want to save it as a flattened PNG to keep the file size low, so that when you upload it to Facebook, it looks better. We'll do the same with our cover photo. Upload photo. We go back to assets, banners, boom. Save. Beautiful. The next thing I want to do is hover over more and click on edit page info. We've got our name, our category, which is preset when we set up our Facebook page. We've got subcategories, which you can add later, description, let's see, impressum, your contact, location, and right now we don't have a location, so we can disable that. And we've got hours. We'll choose always open. I believe you have to click save for every section that you change. For the email address, you want to use the email that we created for your website, not a Gmail, not a Yahoo. So we're going to do info@paperdocs.org for this email address. This is similar to claiming that you own the website when you set up this Facebook page. You can use the Yahoo or Gmail if that's your primary email, but if you've been following this course, you should have a custom email set up for your website. In our website, we're going to add HTTPS since we have the SSL certificate set up, which we did in a previous video. And we don't have a phone number right now, so we can leave that blank. For the description, we can pull up our website, which I'll do on another screen, and I'll curate some information from our website. PaperDocs offers professional editing solutions for students, businesses, professionals, entrepreneurs, and everyone in between. Let's see here. We specialize in polishing essays, books, resumes, manuscripts, and a number of professional documents. So there's our description. We click Save Changes for each section, including the map that we disabled and our hours. Now we can click close in the top right hand corner. So just triple check, make sure everything is good, and then we close the light box. So I'll go ahead and write a blog post, or not a blog post, but a post on our page, and we're going to type out our website URL, and then we're going to hit the space bar, but then we're going to delete the URL from the post once the images show up. So yeah, delete that URL because we're going to actually add other text later. We're going to uncheck or unhighlight these images because we're going to upload our own. So this is a Facebook carousel, which also can be cross-posted to Instagram. We're not going to worry about that at this moment. We just want to get our first post up here so that when we start inviting people, they can see a link to our website. We're also going to pin this to the top of our Facebook page. So let me actually go and browse for the images I want to upload, and we'll create a strategic post for this carousel, which can have up to 5 images. And of course, it's going to crop any images that aren't already square. So while I'm browsing through my folder structures on my desktop, you guys might not have these pictures ready, but if you want, you can go to a stock photography site or go to Google and find some pictures that you can use temporarily for a post, just to have your first post on your Facebook page. I've already got some in my inspirations folder, which was mostly stock photography, which I downloaded from other stock websites. So I'm going to choose about 5 of these. Sometimes when you choose these images, by the way, let's say I'm going to go ahead and pick 5. Sometimes when you double click or click open for these images, Facebook might not immediately import them into your carousel. So choose only 5 images. You can choose more than 5, but you can only pick 5 once they're uploaded. But make sure you know which 5 you want to use. So let's see, this one. I'm kind of thinking of the post in my head too. I'll show you why here in a second, which is why I'm taking a second to pick these images out. Then you want to, once you have your 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, open. And like I said, see, they didn't load. So we click the plus symbol again and we go and pick our images. Actually I want this one. Yeah, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So by default it loads the images from your website, and we want to use custom images. So we've got 5 here. You can rearrange them. I'm gonna add this logo onto the very back end. Let's see, our first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously I'm kind of doing something a little more strategic for this post, because I already have in mind what I want the post to say. Let's see. So of course I'm going to make changes to this as I'm going, because I'm kind of doing this on the fly, so you can get an example of what to do when you first create your page. So just follow me here for a second. Cut me some slack for not being extremely prepared for this part, but this is what I would do, and what I recommend you do something similar just to get your page started. And again, I'm curating information from the actual website that I built on a separate screen so that you can only see what I'm doing in Facebook right now. So I saw a couple of issues with the text from my website. I'm just making some changes and kind of thinking of the image titles on the fly. You can make a different title for each image in the carousel, which will show up under each image like so. And each image can also link to a different page or product on your website. You'll see this little link icon at the very bottom of the image inside of this lightbox circle. You click that if you want to actually change the link to this particular image, but we're not going to change that because the link that we posted in the post to bring these images up is the link that we want each image to link to, the homepage of the site. So we'll keep that as is. I'm going to make a couple of changes to this. Let's see, I'm going to copy this, cut this, paste it here maybe, and I'm gonna go through and just double check everything, make sure the images align or are associated well with the copy underneath. You know, we want to make good copy, so you can't go back and change it, which is why I'm kind of updating it and thinking of it on the fly. You can't go back and change it once you publish it. I don't think you can. Maybe you can, but just in case you can't, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we type this out exactly as we want it to appear when visitors come to our Facebook page and see this pinned post. Again, we're going to pin this to the top of our Facebook profile, so it's the first thing that people see, no matter whether we post a new Facebook post or not. So let's see. Hire a Paper Docs Pro editor. Save and publish. See more at paperdocs.org. So we created a strategic post. Let's see. You write your document. Frustrated, hire a Paper Docs Pro editor. I think I'm going to change this. Yeah, let's take out the frustrated. Hire a PaperDocs Pro editor. Do I want it to say this? When you're finished, hire a PaperDocs Pro editor. Stage 1, the polish. Stage 2, assessment. Stage 3, submit and publish. See more at paperdocs.org. Awesome. Now we can go ahead and write our copy for this post. We'll take the excerpt from the header of our website or our page description, and we'll just paste it in here. We'll hit enter a couple times and actually add the URL now. Generally, you don't have to, but some people are not real tech savvy, so they don't know that you can click on the pictures. So you'll go ahead and give them a call to action in the copy. See more at paperdocs.org. Boom, 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 boom. This looks really good. Last carousel card gives them the call to action as well. But we'll add the URL here just for ease of access, and so that people see what our URL is. This looks great. Make sure all the copy is correct. Publish it. You can always change the copy. You can't necessarily change the images or the image titles after it's published. We're going to click on this drop down arrow at the top of the post and pin to top of page. Now, regardless of what you post in the future, this post will always remain at the very top of your profile unless you pin a different post or unpin this post. So we'll refresh our Facebook page, scroll down a bit. We've got our button set up. Scroll down. The first post that we should see is our new paperdocs.org call to action. Now let's go over to messages. We're going to download our messenger code. You click on the info icon, and now our image is inside of our messenger code. We can click on the download drop down and download at 1000 pixels. It'll download automatically by your browser on your local hard drive. Maybe in your downloads, you can go and move this into your structured folder where the rest of your website assets reside. So I'm going to go and save this in our folder structure under, this is a different folder structure, by the way, what I've got pulled up right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and save this in my assets just as a regular image, because I built out the folder structure after I built this website to make your life easier. But in the folder structure that you downloaded, you should have a assets folder with images that you can go and upload your messenger code into there. Now we're going to go to messenger.com. You're going to go ahead and click continue if you're already logged into Facebook. And if not, you just have to enter your phone number or your email address and re-log in to Messenger, even though we're logged into Facebook. In some cases, you should already be logged into Messenger unless you use multiple accounts, which is my case. So I have to re-enter my email address and password to get back into Messenger for this Facebook account. You want to search for your own business Facebook page name, which for us is paperdocs.org. You want to click on your own business name or your own name if you're doing this for yourself, for whatever page you want this messenger URL to be generated for. So we can send ourselves a message, and we don't have to send ourselves a message, but in the address bar we should have the URL to our Facebook Messenger link. So when someone clicks on this URL, we can embed it into a button, into a menu. It'll take them directly to Messenger on their phones or to Messenger on their desktops. It'll give them an easy way to find us on Messenger and send us a message immediately, so long as they're logged into Messenger or Facebook. So we're going to go into documents in our folder structure, links, and social. We're going to add our Facebook URL. www.facebook.com/ whatever your URL is, and we're at our Facebook Messenger URL, so we'll go ahead and paste that here. Awesome. www.facebook.com/paperdocs. Save this and close it, or minimize it. I can minimize my folder structure, and we've got our messenger code, we've got our messenger URL. We've got our Facebook URL. And we've pretty much set up the basics of our Facebook page, including a profile image and a profile banner. And again, the dimensions were 780 by 780 for the profile image and 2050 by 780 for the Facebook banner. One of the last things that we want to do is click on our Facebook banner. Sometimes you'll have an issue with doing this on the first time you upload the banner, is adding a description. So we're going to go ahead and paste this description that's from our Facebook page. And in some cases, it'll say you're trying to post this past the current date or something like that, but we'll see what happens. We're going to add our call to action to each one of our posts, copy this so we can put this in our profile image, and click done editing. So boom, there's our invalid date, even though it's not really wrong. 2017 January 6th. You can add an hour, but we're going to try to click done editing. In some cases you'll just have to click cancel. So let's see. Boom, this is not working like this, so I'll show you an alternative way to add this description. Try editing, try clicking done. It's not going to work. Let's close this lightbox. Let's scroll down to the actual post on our timeline and find the update from when we updated our cover photo. Let's click on edit post in the right hand drop down, and the post should already be edited. We just want to click save or done editing to actually push the update to the public. Alright, so we want to do the same thing for our profile image. We'll click on edit post and add our image, done editing. And we can hide our profile image from the timeline. I'm not sure that if we can hide our banner from the timeline, because I'm thinking, why have the profile image and banner on the timeline if it's in our profile image and banner already? So to kind of curate a specific set of information for people to see so they're not seeing duplicate information, we can try to hide whatever's on our timeline that's also in our profile image or profile banner, if that's an option for you. So we've got our pinned post, got our cover photo. Okay, we can't hide it. It doesn't look like we can hide it. Usually we can, and maybe they can only do that for profiles and not pages. So now we just hit our profile image. We just have to refresh the page to do it, but we can't hide our banner for right now for some reason. So this is just for better control of what people see, because when you have a set of outdated posts, sometimes Facebook will auto hide a couple of the posts that didn't get any traffic or any type of likes or shares. It'll automatically kind of hide it from your timeline. Well, you might want to have that post there so you can choose to hide other posts that are less significant than that post. So sometimes hiding certain things from your timeline doesn't actually hide it from the public timeline. It just hides it from your page. So sometimes you might post something that's kind of not relevant to your end goal, but it's kind of relevant for the moment, and it'll grab some traffic. You can hide that from your timeline on your page and keep it in the public news feed for people to still see and comment and react to and interact with. But your profile will actually show the first 5 posts that you want them to see, even though the post that you hid was in between those 5. I hope that makes sense. Try not to make it too confusing. So now we're just gonna update our tabs. Again, we're in settings up here. We can add a tab. We don't necessarily need any of these tabs unless we have products or different services we want to add, which we can do in the future. But we're just going to kind of rearrange these tabs and look through our settings to see if there's anything else we need to change. We can go over to messaging to add a auto response. When people send your page a message, you can have it automatically respond to keep your response rate down, which is good for your page. You can also go back and change general settings such as page visibility, visitor posts. Let's see. Who can tag you in posts or who can tag themselves on your pictures. Let's see. You can spend some time updating these settings to make sure everything meets the standards of your page. I definitely recommend to take the time now to make whatever changes you need. You can go and update page roles to add your partners, page editors. You can change your preferred page audience. For instance, if your business is local, you can set your page audience in your local area. So I'll give you an example. We'll say we want all men and women who are between the ages of 18 and 32 or 28, because 18, they might have a credit card and they can spend money if they're over 18. We're going to say Memphis, Tennessee, 50-mile radius. And I'm going to choose like 2 or 3 more places just to show you an example of what this looks like when you add, a specific page audience. So let's say Olive Branch, that's pretty close to Memphis, and 50-mile radius. Let's do Nashville, Tennessee, maybe Knoxville as well, and 50-mile radius. This is Olive Branch. Let's do Knoxville, Tennessee, 50-mile radius. Since this is a digital service, of course, I can go and add different places. And of course, this is if you're building a local business. Otherwise, if you are building a digital service, you don't have to specify a specific location, but you can specify a dominant language. For instance, if you're in the United States and you're building a Latino business, you can specify Latin American as the primary language. This page is acting kind of crazy, so I might have to refresh. I'm not sure what the hell is happening right there. So let me go ahead and refresh the page. So we'll just add, for the time being, United States, ages 18 to maybe 28 or 32, and all men and women. We're not necessarily going to choose any interests right now, and click save. Only do this if you really understand what your page audience is, or what your market is for your particular industry or brand or business or product or service, or whatever it is you have a website built for. Really, that's about it. So go through your settings, make some changes, experiment with it. But once you've got this finished, once you've got your Facebook page fully set up and ready to go, you can go ahead and save your URL inside of your website to link back to your Facebook page, and vice versa. So you click on pages, click on your pages in the top right corner, and here's our page, paperdocs.org. I recommend liking your pages yourself. I also recommend unfollowing yourself, because you're the one that's going to create the post initially. So let's go down and unfollow. And then you want to go over to the more drop down and pin this page to shortcuts. This is going to add a shortcut on your home page to give you quick access from home. Boom, paperdocs.org in the shortcuts section.